The transmission had been broadcast across every known system, a declaration of war so absolute it sent shockwaves through the entire galactic community. The Corran Dominion, an empire spanning thousands of star systems, had just announced its intention to exterminate humanity. Admiral Rannick of the Corrans had spoken with his usual arrogance. "You are an infestation, a mistake of evolution. Your kind will be erased from existence. The Dominion will make it as if you never existed." The message echoed through space, reaching human colonies, military outposts, and Earth itself. Billions of humans heard those words. Billions clenched their fists in response. For most species, such a declaration would have meant surrender. The Corrans had wiped out dozens of civilizations before. Empires erased, fleets annihilated, planets burned. Their war machine was unstoppable. They expected humanity to beg, to fall to their knees. Instead, they got a response. A single video was sent back to the Dominion's high command. The sender, a human soldier, battle-worn, standing in front of the ruined city of New Moscow on the colony world of Grom 4. His armor was scorched. Blood, both human and alien, streaked his face. He had seen what the Corrans had done, and he smiled. "Congratulations," the soldier said, his voice calm, almost amused. "You just declared war on the galaxy's deadliest species." Then he cut the transmission. The war had begun. The Corran Dominion had been undefeated for millennia. Their fleets moved like storms across the galaxy, consuming planets, enslaving species, erasing those who resisted. But they had never fought humans before. On Grom 4, the first true battle of the war was already underway. The Corrans expected a quick and effortless slaughter. Instead, they found themselves caught in a bloodbath. Major Elias Carter wiped sweat from his brow as he crouched behind a half-destroyed barricade. The streets were littered with Corran bodies, their dark blue blood staining the ruins of New Moscow. The alien warriors had expected to march through the city unchallenged. Instead, they were being torn apart by human resistance fighters using guerrilla tactics, jury-rigged explosives, and sheer unrelenting fury. "Status," Carter barked into his comms. "Still holding, sir," came the reply from Lieutenant Vasquez. Her unit had been holding the western flank, preventing the Corrans from encircling them. "But we need more ammo. Those bastards just keep coming." Carter grimaced. They all knew the truth. Grom 4 was doomed. The Corrans had sent a full invasion force. No help was coming. Earth's fleets were still mobilizing. Their orders were simple. "Make the Corrans bleed. Hold as long as you can," Carter said. "And if you have to fall back, leave them a parting gift." Vasquez chuckled darkly. "Already setting the charges." The Corrans had war machines that leveled entire districts with plasma cannons. But humans didn't fight fair. They struck from the shadows, planted traps, lured the enemy into ambushes. Every street the Corrans took, they paid for in blood. They had thought humanity would be an easy conquest. They were beginning to learn otherwise. Across the galaxy, news of the battle spread. Other civilizations, long cowed by the Dominion, watched in disbelief as humans, mere upstarts on the galactic stage, fought back. Then came the report that chilled the Corran High Council to their cores. Humans had taken a Dominion warship. Somehow, against all odds, a small human strike team had infiltrated a battleship, slaughtered its crew, and hijacked it. No species had ever done that before. For the first time in Corran history, they felt something unfamiliar: fear. The Caudus Varick, a Dominion battleship designed for planetary sieges, had been one of the most powerful vessels in the fleet. It was meant to be unstoppable, a symbol of supremacy. Now, it belonged to humanity. Inside the bridge of the captured warship, Captain Daniel Rourke stood over the command console, his hands still shaking from the insanity of what they had pulled off. Around him, Marines, engineers, and hackers, still covered in Corran blood, stared in disbelief. "We actually did it," whispered Lieutenant Harper, her eyes wide. "Damn right we did," Rourke said. "Now let's make sure it was worth it." The Corrans had underestimated humanity's adaptability. They thought their ships were too complex, their systems too alien. But humans had spent centuries reverse engineering everything they got their hands on. The moment they seized control of the Varric, Harper and her tech team had ripped into its systems like scavengers. "Get me a direct line to Admiral Cassari," Rourke ordered. "Earth needs to hear about this." Within moments, the face of Admiral Cassari, leader of Earth's defense fleet, appeared on the main screen. Her normally cold, calculating expression broke, just for a second. "You're telling me," she said, voice sharp but controlled, "that you've hijacked a Corran battleship?" Rourke smirked. "We didn't just hijack it, Admiral. We're about to use it." The Dominion scrambled. No species had ever stolen one of their ships. It was unthinkable, an insult beyond comprehension. But humanity wasn't done humiliating them. Instead of fleeing, Rourke and his team turned the Varric against its former masters. When a Corran fleet approached Grum 4 to reinforce their ground troops, the stolen battleship opened fire. The first enemy ship never raised shields. It didn't expect one of its own to attack. A direct hit from the Varric's forward plasma cannon tore it apart. Harper cracked into Dominion fleet security codes, disguising their communications. For precious minutes, the Corrans hesitated, unsure if the Varric was compromised or if this was some elaborate trap. That hesitation cost them everything. The human fleet, now mobilized, dropped out of hyperspace. For the first time in history, a Corran fleet was ambushed. On the ground, Major Carter and his battered fighters looked to the skies as fire rained down. At first, they assumed it was more Corran reinforcements until Carter's comms crackled. "Major, this is Captain Rourke aboard the Varric. We're giving these bastards a taste of their own medicine." Carter grinned through the blood and soot. "About damn time," he muttered. The impossible had happened. The Dominion had declared war on humanity. But now, for the first time, they realized their mistake. They hadn't declared war on another species. They had declared war on the deadliest fighters in the galaxy. And humanity was just getting started. From there, the humans turned the war into something the Dominion had never seen before. A hunt. The Varric was sacrificed in a cataclysmic strike on Velrath, a key Dominion supply world. Rourke's last words before detonating the battleship's fuel core echoed across Corran command channels. "Congratulations. You just lost another planet." The resulting explosion crippled entire supply chains. Slave species under Dominion rule began rebelling. Corran patrols were ambushed, commanders hunted in their own territories. For centuries, the Dominion had ruled by fear. Now they were the ones afraid. Admiral Cassari declared the new phase of the war. "We are not just fighting back. We are hunting them now." Operation Executioner, the strike on the Corran homeworld, was the culmination. Human stealth teams crippled defenses, warships bombarded infrastructure, and Rourke himself led the assault into the Emperor's palace. "You declared war on humanity," Rourke said coldly, staring into the Emperor's terrified eyes. "Big mistake. One shot ended an empire." The news spread like wildfire. The Corran Emperor was dead, their fleets shattered, their colonies in revolt. What should have been a war lasting centuries ended in months. Standing among the ruins of the once great Dominion, Admiral Cassari looked at her soldiers. "They thought they were the apex predators," she said. She turned toward the burning remnants of the Dominion. They were wrong. For the first time in history, the galaxy had a new ruler. The humans weren't conquerors. They weren't tyrants. They were hunters. And the galaxy had learned a terrifying truth. You don't declare war on humanity. Because if you do, you don't get a war. You get extinction.